Hey guys, it's Jeremiah coming to you from Quito, Ecuador. I wanted this video to be about Shavasana, and there's many names for it or ways you pronounce it. Shivasana, Shavasana, the yogi's catnap. However you refer to it, it's at the end of your 75-minute yoga practice that we take this rest on the ground that allows our body to physiologically adapt itself to all the changes that we did during the yoga asanas or postures. So the thing with Shavasana, there's one of my favorite shirts I've ever seen for yoga attire. It says, "I'm only here for the Shavasana." So if you know what real Shavasana feels like, then you know exactly why that person's wearing that shirt. So it's amazing. It's not something that you can really explain easily, but I'll try. So, first of all, there's a bunch of techniques. I'll give you one technique that has worked really well for myself and for a lot of people who have a hard time focusing or controlling their thoughts during Shavasana. A lot of people tell me, like, I just can't focus long enough, and then it's over. 15 minutes of compulsively thinking while everyone else is deep in Shavasana or meditation doesn't feel very good. So this is what you can do. Now you're going to have to remember these instructions. They're very easy. And this video, I wouldn't recommend putting it on at the end of your yoga class. This is just a tutorial. So the instructions are what you want to maybe practice while after watching this video, and then watch the video again, maybe take notes and try it again until you know what the steps are and the technique is, and you can do it in your head without having to get up, put on a video, etc. That's the problem. You don't want any distractions. So after your yoga practice, you get as comfortably as possible laying on your back. Some people like to use bolsters or pillows or blankets, whatever is going to make your body feel the most comfortable. Basically what it is making your mind forget that your physical body exists. So you want to be as physically comfortable as possible. Now, here are the instructions. You're going to lie there with your palms facing upward, relaxing your physical body as much as possible. And your mind, sometimes they tell you to focus on the tip of your nose, but then you have all these distracting thoughts, or focus on your stomach or chest rising and falling with your breath. Again, too many distractions. So we're going to utilize the tendencies of your monkey mind, which is going to be thinking and going all different places. So with your eyes closed, I want you to locate your focus, your concentration. And how you do that, it's something you can sense. You need to first focus on your feet, and you're going to feel like your sense of concentration lowering itself down to your toes or your feet. Then, once you locate it, move it up to your face, your nose, and anywhere above the shoulders, and you're going to feel it again. Your focus is going to move. You're going to feel it. You're going to sense it. That's what you want to get a hold of. You want to find your sense of concentration, all right? Now, as you start having thoughts, you can relax your mind. You don't have to control your thoughts, which is very difficult for beginners to do. You can let them flow freely, all right? Now, here's the trick. You can allow any thoughts to come in your brain, but you can't concentrate on them, all right? What I like to imagine is my concentration in my head when I'm having all these thoughts come up is, imagine a ping pong ball just bouncing off one wall off the other, like that old video computer game Pong, where it just bounces back and forth. So when you have a thought, you're like, no, don't focus on it. Bounce that concentration off of it, and you're going to feel it go off, and another thought will just automatically be there or crop up. The second that you feel it hit that thought, bounce it off again. Keep bouncing these imaginary kind of focus or concentration off of your thoughts in all different directions. Basically, you cannot focus or concentrate on any thought maybe longer than a second. If you are, then you're actually engaging your cognitive processes. You don't want to do that. You relax the mind, let whatever's going to pop in your head, but just Locate your sense of focus and concentration, and then do not let your sense of focus or concentration settle on any particular thought for longer than a second or two, okay? And once you get this ability, you're going to feel like it, okay, I figured out how this feels. Now, if you can do this long enough, maybe it's 2 minutes, maybe it's 3 minutes, this is how you know you're doing it right. Your body gives you physiological cues that we identified basically in the spiritual community, that when you do trance, you feel it. When you do Shivasana, when you're coming out of Shivasana especially, you feel it. So when you start feeling maybe electricity, like static electricity all over your body, a little buzzing sensation, you're doing it right. Keep doing it, and don't get excited like, oh, I'm doing it right, and focus on that thought. Just keep doing what you're doing. Also, you may feel your sense of balance. Even though you're laying on the ground, it's going to feel like maybe the room starts spinning, or you feel like gravity starts changing. You literally feel it. This is how we know you're doing it correctly, all right? So whatever it is, you're going to feel these physical cues start happening. Just keep going. Now, nobody really remembers the moment they enter Shavasana, so you should just slip into it. But then, after however long it is, if you have a yoga class, which now at the moment we don't, but you're going to hear, a little bell chime from your instructor telling you to start gently waking up and moving your fingers and toes and that kind of stuff. By doing it by yourself, you can set like a 15, maybe 16-minute alarm. A gentle alarm. Don't make the most obnoxious and startling one, because when you're in this state of consciousness, loud sounds actually hurt. You can feel them. They shock your nervous system, and it startles you so much. It's not very fun. So try to have a door locked if you know that someone might enter in and make a bunch of noise. When you're in this state, you can feel sound. So a loud noise outside, you'll feel the sound wave actually passing through your body. It won't just be something you hear anymore. And when you come out of Shavasana, it's going to feel like you just got 2 or 3 hours of sleep, like you just woke up from an amazing siesta. Just take your time moving, your body again. And I would recommend trying this if you've never felt or experienced this authentically. Maybe try it 4 or 5 times. It's 15 minutes per session, so 4 times would be an hour. You have an hour. And once you start doing it, you actually maybe, the first time I went into Shavasana, it took me maybe 12 minutes. And I only got a couple minutes before the instructor pulled us out of it. So if it takes a couple minutes, every time you do it, it will actually come easier, and it will actually come faster. So just imagine that you're walking through a big field of flowers and no one's ever walked or passed through there. The first time you pass through, you're going to you're going to trample some of the plants. You're going to make a little visible trail with your footsteps. The more that you trot on that, the more that you're going to make a very, very discernible, very visible trail. And that's what we're trying to do neurologically in our mind, okay? So the more you practice this, the better you get at it and the easier it becomes. Don't just shut your eyes for 15 minutes compulsively thinking about what you're going to eat when you get home, or what, all the bills that you have, or all the stuff that you have to do when you get back to the house, or is there traffic when I come back from wherever you are, in a yoga studio class. Those are the things you do not want to think about. So try this technique, guys. Remember, just do not focus on any of the thoughts longer than maybe a second. Just bounce your attention right off of it to the next one. Keep that little imaginary ping pong ball of concentration going for as long as you need to, until you physiologically get your cues that you're doing it right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. As always, I'll ask the cliche thing to please subscribe to my channel. It's going to give you guys notifications when I come out with new videos, which will save me having to do thousands or hundreds of messages every week to sending these out to you guys, let you know I have stuff to check out, all right? Take care of yourselves, and please give this a shot and see how it is. You can always give me feedback in the comments below or on my Facebook message board. All right. Have a good day.